You know that feeling, right? You get super excited to try a new AI tool, but then you hit a wall. A wall made of technical setup, picking models, managing servers, endless configurations. It's just a huge pain. But what if? What if you could just skip all of that and get straight to the good part? Well, today we're looking at a tool that claims you can do exactly that. It really is a tale of two different worlds. On one side, you have the old way, with tools like OpenClaw, which means you're in for a world of manual, janky, and often super frustrating setups. And on the other side, you have Perplexity Computer, which is all about a zero setup experience. We're talking about the difference between having to build a car from scratch versus just hopping in and driving away.
And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? These powerful AI tools shouldn't demand that you're a systems administrator just to get them working. This whole idea of picking your own models, fighting with integrations, and babysitting servers, it has held back so many of us who just want to get cool stuff done.
And this is exactly where Perplexity Computer enters the chat. The best way to think about it is like a conductor for a huge orchestra of AI models. You just give the command, right? And it figures out which musicians, which specialized agents to bring in to perform this complex symphony of tasks, all without you having to touch a single line of code.
So how does it actually work? Well, it boils down to this almost deceptively simple two-step process. Step 1, you give it a prompt. Easy enough. But step 2, that's where the real magic happens. It doesn't just do a simple search, no. It orchestrates everything, web searches, documents, emails, a whole team of agents to build you a complete final result.
All right, theory is great and all, but let's actually see this thing in action. We're going to start with a task that's a classic headache for a lot of people, doing really deep, comprehensive research for a big project.
So here's the prompt we're giving it. We need a complete guest dossier for an interview. And this is not just a quick Google search, okay? It's asking for a full career timeline, public statements, recent activity, and even, get this, 15 unique interview questions, all packaged up in a professional PDF. This is a seriously complex task. Now look at what's happening behind the scenes here. This is so cool. It's not just doing one thing. It's loading the right skills, it's running multiple research agents at the same time to be faster, and it even spawns a whole separate sub-agent whose only job is to build the PDF. But here's the real kicker. It then verifies the quality of its own work, checking every single page for errors. It's not just doing the task, it's doing quality control on itself. And the final result of that ridiculously sophisticated process? This, a 16-page, comprehensive, professionally laid out report on Chris Latner. I mean, this isn't some text file. It's a genuinely useful, ready-to-go document. Now, just let this sink in for a second. A report like this, a human researcher could easily spend a few days compiling all this information and formatting it. Perplexity Computer did the whole thing in about 10 minutes. That's not just a little bit faster, that completely changes the game for this kind of work. Okay, so it can crush research and documentation, we've seen that. But what about creating something brand new from scratch? Something interactive? Let's push it and see how it handles building a live website from just a single prompt. The task is pretty ambitious. Build an interactive data visualization, this bubble chart, and then deploy it as a live functioning website. Think about that. That means it has to do the research, gather the data, write the code, handle the design, and then push it live. That's a job for a whole team, usually. And this is where it gets really, really clever. It doesn't just write some code and hope for the best. No, it enters this quality analysis loop. It researches, it codes, and then it literally takes screenshots of its own work, testing different modes and checking if it works on mobile. It critiques its own output, makes it better, and only then does it deploy the final version. It's incredible. And here it is. In about 5 minutes, we have a live interactive website that you can send to anyone. You can actually hover over the bubbles, see the data. It's not some static image, it's a real working web app. So you're probably asking, how on earth is any of this possible? Well, the secret sauce, the thing that makes this whole system tick, is its ability to seamlessly connect to the tools that you already use every single day. This is what takes it from a cool tech demo to an actual workflow powerhouse. It can tap into this massive ecosystem of over 400 integrations. We're talking about plugging directly into your Gmail, your Slack, your Notion, your Google Drive. I mean, all the places where your work actually lives. And look, if you've ever tried to connect different apps using the old methods, you know the pain. It's tedious, it's full of errors, you spend hours troubleshooting. With this, it's just a simple sign-in process. It takes seconds. You click allow and you are done. It's that easy.
Okay, now for the final boss battle. We're going to give it a truly complex automation task. The prompt is to take a completely blank Notion page, turn it into a database for tracking AI fundraising, and then, and this is the wild part, set it up as a recurring task that runs every single day.
And this is what we're giving it to work with, a completely blank canvas. Literally an empty Notion page with absolutely zero context, zero structure, nothing.
And just a few moments later, you get this, a fully populated database. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. The AI designed the entire database itself. It figured out on its own that it needed columns for the company name, how much they raised, who the investors were, and the source. It didn't just fill in the blanks. It created the blanks to begin with.
So let's just recap that insane sequence of events. It connected to Notion, researched the latest news, designed a database structure from scratch, added all the right columns, filled it with data, and then automated the whole thing to run daily. All of that from one simple sentence.
This is obviously about more than just one cool new tool. What we're really seeing here is a glimpse into a fundamental shift in the future of how we all work with information. And this quote from the source material it nails it perfectly. All of that tedious manual work of collecting data, organizing it, structuring it, that's just going to fade away as AI like this gets more and more advanced.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating and honestly a pretty exciting question to think about. When the AI handles all the grunt work, when it builds the tools and organizes the data for you, what does that free us up to do? When the how is totally taken care of, what new what are you going to build?